Hello, hello, lovely people of the internet. Welcome back to my page, Sincerely Seth. As always, I am your host, Seth. I hope you missed me as much as I missed you, and if you didn't, it's okay. I'm used to it. Just kidding. Anyway, let's get right down to business. After a whole lot of thinking and deliberation, I've kind of decided to take this page into a new-ish direction. It's going to be focused a little bit more on life advice, relationships, things of that nature. If that's something that you're interested in, once again, like this video, subscribe to my page, follow me on social media, get ready for a whole lot of that. If that's not something that you're interested in, that's completely okay. I won't take it personally, I understand. You're free to unsubscribe from me, but I will shed a single tear for you. As you can see, the title of this video is I Can't Believe Who My Ex Is Dating. That title was inspired by a quick little story that I heard from one of my good friends that was telling me a little bit about their ex. So as I was hanging out with my friend, they brought up their ex saying,
I'm so much better off without them anyway,
etc. And then they said to me,
you wouldn't believe who my ex is dating now.
And they immediately grabbed their phone and pulled up a picture of their ex's new significant other. And they're like,
look at this person, it's such a downgrade, right? I'm glad to see that I'm the one who's better off after the relationship.
And I just kind of sat there and nodded and smiled and listened. And eventually, as conversations with me tend to go, the conversation got very deep. So my concern with what my friend did isn't that they were expressing how better off they were after this relationship and sharing their joy of kind of feeling liberated with me. Of course not. I would love to hear about my friend's successes. That's what friendships are for. My concern was that they were doing so at the detriment of their ex, of their significant other, or old significant other. And this didn't sit right with me. For the first bit of the conversation, my friend was a little bit confused as to why I was, in their words,
picking sides.
Because from their perspective, I was picking the side of my friend's ex rather than siding by my friend. At least that's how they viewed it. And as I sat there and I talked to my friend, here are a few things that kind of came to mind that I wanted them to know that I also want you to know. First and foremost, if you are somebody back home, if you're watching this video and you have been in a, we'll say, toxic relationship, a relationship that's just detrimental to your well-being and it was robbing you of happiness, and you worked up the courage to either leave that relationship or some circumstance freed you from that relationship, allow me to be the first of hopefully many people to tell you congratulations. Life is too short to not spend it with people who bring you genuine joy and happiness. So if you left that relationship, good for you, and I couldn't be more proud of you. That being said, I think it is important to understand what I mean by left the relationship. Because my concern with how my friend brought that story to me is that it was a clear-cut example of someone who has left the relationship but has not left the relationship, right? My friend was still preoccupied and ruminating about what their ex was doing. My friend felt it necessary to spend time and energy and breath talking about their ex in a way that wasn't that constructive, right? They had already left the relationship, but evidently their mind, their heart was still in it, and not in a healthy way. If you're a person that has experienced a breakup, one of the first things that you should do after that breakup is pause and reflect about the things that you learned from that relationship. Every relationship, every attempt at love, or whatever else reason you're dating for, it's an experience that we should revel in because it gives us a chance to learn things about ourselves that we otherwise would not have known. In addition to that, we get the chance to learn something about another human being, to make a soulful connection and attempt to build a life together. As human beings, we are not made to be alone. We are naturally communal beings, right? So any chance that we get to build a community, whether it just be in a large community or just with another singular individual, any chance that we get to build a community is an opportunity for us to become better humans, to become better people, right? So every relationship that you've been in, whether it be good, bad, toxic, rewarding, detrimental, constructive, however you view it or perceive it, do know that that relationship taught you something about yourself, the world, or other people. And that is something to be celebrated. I know that's easier said than done. I know that our first instinct after we have a breakup is to think, oh, that breakup sucks, it's time to cry. Or for the more macho men,
I'm so glad I left her because she was quote unquote crazy.
but I think it's important to think about how breakups can be a chance for you as a person to look back on the days, the weeks, the months, the years that you spent with the person and pull out those things that you particularly enjoyed, that you want to repeat down the line with further relationships, or those things that you knew for a fact robbed you of happiness and weighed down on your soul. You remove them from future relationships and make sure to avoid them down the line, right? And you become better at knowing what you desire in relationships. That's what makes every relationship a blessing in disguise. So what my friend brought to me was this sense of superiority, this sense of higher than thou-ness that I was perceiving. My friend sat there and told me how they felt that they were better than their ex and they were so happy to no longer be with them. They were preoccupied with their ex's current relationship, right? So it's no longer about how they as a person have grown and what they have learned. Now it's about how they as a person compare to this other human being. And I think that's just pitiful. The moment that you start comparing your life to other people's lives, you no longer make it your life, right? Whoever you're comparing your life to, they now dictate your life. You give them control of your life by comparing your life to them. Ultimately, I think the only times we should be looking outward are times that we are looking for qualities in other people that we want to emulate that are positive, enriching, good qualities, or if we see injustice and other people that are being underserved and taken advantage of, and we want to remedy that and do something about it. Otherwise, we shouldn't compare ourselves to the people around us, because all it does is change who we are for the sake of others, which is just a disservice to yourself. So as I was talking to my friend and I realized that they were doing that, I was quick to just call them out and say, hey, you're better than this. That's not how we talk about someone that you spent so long with, that you invested so much time into, that has such a special place in your heart and will always have a special place in your heart if you fell in love with them. I don't think that's how we should be talking about those type of people. As you move on to get out of a relationship with somebody, of course you're no longer fully in love with them, enamored in the sense, but you should always have a deep love for them, a deep appreciation for who they are as human beings, right? And as you move forward, you should be wishing them the very best. You should be desiring nothing but positivity and success for them. Because in spite of what they have done to you, in spite of how they treated or mistreated you, that should be your thought process for literally everyone in the world, right? I think it's important to make sure that as we think about other people, we do so with love and optimism and a desire for their betterment. The moment that you find yourself building resentment, building frustration, and wishing ill of other people, not only are you giving up control of your life and your thoughts for the sake of others, but also you're allowing those thoughts to be thoughts that rob you of joy as well. So if you find yourself in that train of thought, if you find yourself caught in that loop of thinking about your exes in a way that's detrimental, negative, that you're wishing them ill, stop it. Stop it. It's not constructive. It's not good for you. If you find your friends doing it too, call them out and tell them to stop it as well. Because regardless of how things ended with your ex, at some point in your life, you deem them valuable and worthy enough to join you as you walk your journey. So if you start to disgrace them, you're disgracing yourself and the person that you currently are. Because whether you want to admit it or not, they made you who you are in this very moment. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you got something from that. If you enjoyed this video, once again, like, comment, subscribe to my page. Definitely show support. If you find a point of disagreement or agreement, either or, just let me know. Engage in dialogue with me. I know that talking about previous relationships can be a challenging thing because they're so intimate and private. But I think that the best thing that we can do as people is find community within each other. Kind of sharing our pain together or sharing our joys together, but sharing nonetheless. because it doesn't have to be all you all the time. You don't have to hold it all in your heart. You don't have to coop it up inside. Okay? Fantastic. I wish you all an amazing rest of the day, rest of the week. If you're nearing the weekend, happy weekend. And thank you so much for tuning into my page. I'll see you next time. Peace. Before you go, I have one additional challenge for you. If you're the praying type, say a prayer for all of those people that used to be in your life, that you had a falling out with, that are no longer in your life, whether they be friendships or relationships that ended on bad terms. Say a prayer for them. If you are not the praying type, grab a pen and a piece of paper and write down a few things that you desire for their lives. Those things must be constructive, those things must be positive, and those things must be enriching. Because you owe it to yourself and to them to make sure that their memory in your mind and in your heart is a positive one. Have a good day, guys.